You ever just look up at the night sky and feel something? That pull, that sense of just absolute wonder about what's out there? Well, today, we're going to dive right into that feeling, the very heart of why humanity just has to explore the final frontier. And we'll do it by looking at some pretty incredible perspectives and insights.
So let's start with the big one, the most basic question of all. Why? Why do we pour so much effort, so much genius, and so much money into building these incredible machines just to throw ourselves away from the only home we've ever known? What's really driving us?
And, the answer is kind of simple, but it's also incredibly deep. When you get right down to it, that drive to see what's next, well, it's just in our nature. It's a part of who we are. Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. This isn't some new ambition we just cooked up. Nope, this is a thread that's been woven through our entire history. It's really all about our relationship with the horizon. That line you can always see, but you can never, ever quite reach.
This isn't just a hobby, or some abstract scientific thing. It really is a core piece of our identity as a species, pushing into the unknown. That's what defines us.
Think about it. Every single great journey in human history, whether it was Polynesian navigators reading the stars or sailors crossing the massive Atlantic, it all started with this one simple, powerful feeling. The need to know what's over that next hill, what's across that next ocean, and now what's beyond our own atmosphere.
And that's what it all boils down to, right? This relentless curiosity, that little voice in the back of our heads always asking, what's out there? Answering that question has fueled our absolute greatest adventures. It's what sends us to the stars.
But here's the thing. Following our nature, in this case, takes way more than just being curious. It requires a straight-up act of defiance. Pure, powerful defiance against the most basic force holding us to this planet, gravity.
Just try to imagine the sheer scale of this effort. We're not just taking a step here. We are literally fighting the entire mass of our own planet, as it's trying with everything it has to pull us back down.
To put that fight into perspective, just look at this number, 6 million pounds. That's the weight of the Saturn V rocket that took us to the moon. It was basically a 36-story building made of controlled explosions sitting on the launch pad. It's a concentration of power that's almost impossible to really wrap your head around, all for one single goal, to get away.
And then you hear those two words, a phrase that signals the end of years of work, turning all that incredible potential energy into a roaring kinetic force.
The ground shakes, fire is everywhere, and that 6 million pound beast starts to claw its way toward the sky. It pins its crew back into their seats with these crushing G-forces as it literally forges a new reality right then and there.
Then you hear this, a critical milestone. It means the main fight against gravity, the hardest part, has been won. It's basically a declaration of victory, a signal that you've broken free and you are truly on your way.
So, what's the reward for that incredible act of defiance? Well, it's a change in perspective so profound it's almost impossible to describe. It's a view from above that just reshapes everything.
And this, right here, is the promise of exploration being fulfilled. The chance to be the very first pair of human eyes to see a new landscape, whether that's a crater on the far side of the moon or our own Earth rising above that barren lunar horizon. It's the ultimate privilege. And this whole new reality, it operates on a totally different level. The speeds, the distances, it all leads to this massive cognitive shift that astronauts call the overview effect, this profound moment of clarity when you see Earth for what it is, a fragile little marble hanging in the blackness.
Okay, let's try to get our heads around this. 7 miles per second, not per hour, per second. That's fast enough to cross the entire United States in about 6 minutes. It is a speed our brains are just not built to handle.
And that's exactly it, isn't it? The physics of just getting around in space forces us to deal with numbers and concepts that are completely alien to our everyday lives. It just fundamentally changes how you see reality itself.
But every journey outward is also in the end about the journey home. It's about what we bring back, not just the data and the rocks, but what these missions actually mean for all of us right here on Earth.
The key to a statement like this is the sense of inevitability. It's this idea that getting to the moon wasn't really a question of if we could do it, but just when. It was like a destiny we were chasing, all because it's just in our nature.
And that sense of destiny, well, that points to the ultimate takeaway here.
These missions are so much more than just technical achievements. They're basically monuments to what humans can do when we work together.
And here it is, the big message. When we all pull in the same direction, behind a single, ridiculously ambitious vision, like going from a speech to actually landing on the moon in less than a decade, there's almost nothing we can't do. Exploring space isn't just about what's out there. It's a reflection of the absolute best of what's in here, inside all of us.
And that's the beautiful, amazing thing about exploration. It's an endless cycle. Reaching one horizon doesn't mean the journey is over. It just shows you the next one, stretching out even further into the dark, basically begging us to keep going.
So, as we wrap this up, it really leaves us with one final, powerful question. We went to the moon. We're setting our sights on Mars. We're looking deeper into the universe than ever before. So knowing what we're capable of, what should be our next great shared adventure? What's our next horizon?